He led the counter-attack from the front.
That's out. Great bowling. The angles worked.
The skipper also sent India's nemesis Steve Smith back.
He's done it. Brilliant.
KL Rahul took a fantastic catch in the third slip to send back Mitchell Marsh. India kept chipping away. Labuschagne's wicket, a huge moment in the match. The day ended with the hosts at 67 for 7. The hosts trailing by 83 runs, an advantage to India.
Delight for India, and it's chaos for Australia.
That's all we have for you. Keep watching NDTV for more news and updates.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए,
in the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं।
NDTV World, your new home for global news is here. Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India, beating all its competition. NDTV stands for trust.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move.
Good morning, everybody. You're watching NDTV. Today is an important day. It's counting day. All eyes on the outcome of Maharashtra and Jharkhand. Maharashtra, the most important state when it comes to the economy of the country, is at stake here. Will the state finally see political stability? But remember, in the last 5 assembly elections, the state has not had a single party reach the magic number of 145. And in Jharkhand, it's a fight for the tribal identity. And of course, we also have bypoll results coming up. Bypolls in several parts of the country. Will Priyanka Gandhi finally become an MP, and all Gandhis will be in the parliament? Interesting day ahead today.
That's right, Vasudha. And as Vasudha was mentioning, it's not just the battleground states of Maharashtra and Jharkhand, but also multiple states which are seeing key bypolls. We'll get you all the updates. Ground reporters who are spread out across all these states. But first up, let's take a look at the headlines.
Counting day for the final electoral battle this year. It's India bloc versus NDA in battleground states of Maharashtra and Jharkhand. Results also in key bypolls.
Counting of votes in high-stakes battle for Maharashtra, battle for 288 seats. Will Mahayuti retain power or will MBA make a comeback?
It's a tight contest in the state of Jharkhand. Will Hemant Soren be able to tide anti-incumbency, or will BJP best part?
Prestige battle for Priyanka Gandhi in Wayanad. Priyanka Gandhi's electoral debut in the Congress bastion in Kerala.
It's a key bypoll results in multiple states. Litmus test for Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh. Crucial results also in Rajasthan and Punjab. Well, the counting day is finally here, and today, in a few hours from now, we will get to know who the people of Jharkhand and Maharashtra voted for. Additionally, there are also 42 bypolls that were held across the country. Let's, of course, talk about Maharashtra first. A 288-member assembly that witnessed a spirited campaign from both sides. It was the Mahavikas Aghadi on one side, which had the momentum during the Lok Sabha elections of 2024, and the Mahayuti, the ruling coalition, on the other side. Not just slogans such as Ek hai to safe hai, but even Bitcoin and cash for votes controversies came into this particularly important state, because this is where the financial capital of the country is, critical for its economy. Also a state that has seen several political defections and realignment, which make this poll centered around that one big question: will there finally be political stability in the state of Maharashtra?
That's right. And in Jharkhand, the battle was witnessed between the ruling JMM-led INDIA bloc, which is also looking forward to retaining power, and the BJP-led opposition, which is anticipating replacing the Soren government. Now, Hemant Soren, the chief minister, remember, was jailed and then released in an alleged land mining case. And a lot about the campaign was about BJP's aggressive pitch, blaming the infiltrators from Bangladesh for reduction in tribal numbers, and Soren pushing his flagship welfare program. Important numbers coming there, and the voting percentage in Maharashtra, remember, was recorded at 65%, the highest since the mid-90s, whereas in Jharkhand, it recorded a turnout of nearly 68% in the second and the final phase of elections there. Vasudha?
Well, let's go across to a team of reporters who are joining us from various parts of the country. We have Sam Daniel joining us from Chennai, but he's been tracking the Wayanad bypoll very crucially. Anuj Raite, my colleague, is in the constituency of Mahim, which in some ways essentially reflects the Marathi constituency in the city of Mumbai. He is in Mahim, which is where Raj Thakra's son Amit Thakre is contesting from, and of course, which is where Sena Bhavan is. We also have Prabhakar, who has been tracking the Jharkhand polls very closely, and also the bypolls that were held in Bihar. To you, Anuj, first, tell us what is the mood like in Mahim, because this is the epicenter of the Sena. This is where the Sena was founded. But of course, Mumbai is all about Sena versus Sena. What is the mood like? And also tell us what really happened yesterday. Multiple meetings. Eknath Shinde met all his leaders. Today he's going to be in Varsha. I hear that Devendra Fadnavis could be in his bungalow Sagar. Where are the leaders going to be today? What is cooking in their minds? The observers of Congress are already, working towards ensuring that the post-poll action is in their favor. We are told that there are hotels that have been booked. There are helicopters that are on the standby. What are the preparations like?
I am here in Mahim, and talking about that first, this indeed is going to reflect the mood of not just Mumbai city, but in a way the mood of Maharashtra state as well. We see that Mahim has traditionally been a stronghold of Shiv Sena, right? But after the split, this is the first time that both the Senas will be locking horns against each other for the first time. But more flavor and more spice has been added to this entire, what would have otherwise been a bipolar fight, with the addition of Amit Thakre. Now, with Amit Thakre coming into the fray, it doesn't just make this a normal triangular fight, but it also introduces a Thakre brand to the fight. And Mahim is not just all about Shiv Sena, but if you look at it very closely, Mahim constituency, which has one of the most densely populated Marathi places here in Mumbai, is also a lot about the Marathi Manus. And this party, which has been representing the voice, or has been claiming to represent the voice for the longest period of time, has been Shiv Sena, until it got its tough competition in the year 2006 from another member of the Thakre family, and that is Raj Thakre. He will be contesting his son, from this constituency, and that has made things more interesting. Last time around, when MNS's candidate Sandeep Deshpande lost from here, he got close to 42,000 votes, and that is considered to be the traditional vote share of the MNS party. Will there be an increase with the support given by the Bharatiya Janata Party to MNS? Will there be an increase because of the Thakre brand here for MNS? Is something that we'll have to wait and watch out for. Now, Mumbai as a whole is going to be very interesting, because we saw during the Lok Sabha elections that Uddhav Thakre faction of Shiv Sena had a slight edge, but then Lok Sabha elections are very different from state assembly elections. There were several criticisms of the Marathi vote share leaving the UBT Shiv Sena and going towards Shinde Sena, throughout the period of the last 2 years, and that will be tested today. When you talk about the rest of the Maharashtra, all the different administrative zones will reflect different moods of the state, and different parties are trying to capitalize on the same. Be it Northern Maharashtra, where the onion issue was at an all-time high last time year, seems to be going quite, doing quite well when it comes to supporting the government. But then there are two crucial parts of this entire state, that is Marathwada and Vidarbha, where everyone will be looking at, and these are the places which might as well end up determining the actual results for both or for either of the alliances. Now, yesterday we saw that after the exit polls came out, the opposition, of course, went on to defy the exit polls, whereas those in the power put a lot of faith into it. But we're seeing that preparations have been started by both of them. They've made preparations to make sure that all the MLAs who show that they'll be winning by the afternoon time will be traveling here to Mumbai. We saw Sanjay Rao talking about how they are trying to make preparations for hotels, especially for those MLAs who would not have place to stay here in Mumbai. We also had several news pieces coming out which stated that several Mahayuti leaders are in direct contact with independent MLAs and are trying to make sure that they hit the 145 mark with the help of them, if in case they fall short of it as a Mahayuti, as a Mahayuti alliance. So a lot of activities expected to happen in the next few hours, but on 8 o'clock, the counting will start first. The postal ballot votes will be counted, and then we'll go to EVM, and by 10:30 we can expect the picture to become slightly clear, and all of these activities to take an upward turn as soon as it turns 12 noon.
Anuj there reporting from Mahim in Mumbai. Of course, a lot of activities there. Let's go across to Prabhakar now, who's joining us from Ranchi. Prabhakar, just like Maharashtra, I'm sure there have been late evening meetings in Ranchi as well. Tell us about the mood in both the camps early this morning. It's, of course, counting is still to begin. But nonetheless, what's the sense that you're getting from the ground in terms of the confidence level in both sides?
And as it always happens, both the camps are very upbeat, and they are hoping that today will be their day. So they have already ordered. Both the camps, interestingly, have ordered laddus and crackers. So we'll certainly be, one of them will be disappointed, we know for sure. So this is where the counting happens. This is where the action is happening. This is the counting center at Ranchi, and as we speak, the process of the counting has started, and it will just begin at 8 a.m. is the time when the counting begins here. This is where the action will happen. As far as the political leaders are concerned, we saw yesterday, and many of them had a word with us. They are very confident. NDA believes that this time they will be able to hit the bullseye because of the narrative they have floated on the ground, whether it was a Bangladeshi illegal immigrants or whether the scheme for the women voters, especially because we have seen the way women, especially this time, have voted. They have outnumbered men, and BJP believes that it is because of the promise they have made to the women regarding 2,100 rupees monthly stipend to them. That is why they are coming out. Whereas the JMM believes that it is because of the money under the Maiya Saman Yojana which is being given to them. The women are voting for them. So the crucial would be the tribal and the women vote. They are the deciding factors here. So it will be interesting to watch actually which way they have voted this time.
Let me remind my viewers that the counting for both Jharkhand, Maharashtra and also the bypolls will begin soon, with postal ballots that are reserved for specific groups, including those with disabilities, security personnel and certain government employees involved in essential services. Following this, Tanima, is when the EVMs will be tallied. By midday is when early trends will start emerging, but a clear picture of the outcome could be available by late afternoon is what we understand. We've seen how early trends are often misleading, and that is something that we here will be extremely careful about. Also, Ratnadeep joins us from Assam. Ratnadeep, 5 critical bypolls that took place in the state of Assam. Hemanta Biswa Sharma was also the BJP in charge for the state of Jharkhand, but he did find time to go and campaign for the Assam Gana Parishad candidates. And also, this is a prestige battle for Gaurav Gogoi, who's been emerging as a pan-state leader. Tell us what is all at stake here.
Absolutely. these 5 seats by elections in Assam is also seen as a kind of a semi-final before the 2026 Assam Assembly elections. Remember, these elections have been associated after the MLAs who had won from these seats have gone on to win Lok Sabha elections. And among these 5 seats, remember, in the last Assembly elections, 4 seats have been with the BJP and allies, and only 1 seat is with the Congress. And that is the seat where there has been a very tough battle. The seat of Samaguri, a Congress stronghold from where Congress heavyweight Rakibul Hussain, who won the Dhubri Lok Sabha seat with one of the highest margins in the country, Congress stronghold, he had won that seat and retained it since 2001. And this time his son, 26-year-old Tanzil Hussain, is the Congress candidate from there, from Samaguri, and taking on him is Diplu Ranjan Sharma, a young BJP leader, party's general secretary of the state unit. And in the run-up to the elections and even on the day of polling, there have been skirmishes, there have been violence in Samaguri. In fact, when we were reporting from Samaguri on the day of the polling, while we were reporting, there was a skirmish which we caught live on camera. So therefore, massive security arrangement has been made in the counting center there in Nagaon district for Samaguri seat. Apart from that, you have the Bihali seat where there is a strong fight between Congress and the BJP, with the Congress candidate being a BJP turncoat, and also the Bongaigaon seat, which is a prestige seat for the AGP. They have won it for the last 3 decades. And not to forget that there is a contest in southern Assam in Dhalai seat for another prestige seat for the BJP, and the Sidli seat in Bodoland region, which is with BJP's ally, the UPPL. But having said that, this is also seen as a battle between the BJP. And remember, in this elections campaign, although Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma had campaigned, but largely BJP's campaign depended on its second rank leaders. Both Himanta Biswa Sharma and Union Minister Sarvanand Sonowal were not that active in the campaign, and so therefore it is the test for BJP's second rank leader versus Gaurav Gogoi, who now is emerging as Congress's face in Assam. He has campaigned across the state. So many would say that the decisions would decide whether Gaurav Gogoi is emerging as the Congress's new face in Assam, and whether BJP and its allies are able to retain its bastion in Assam, and whether they are able to win the Samaguri seat, which has a Muslim majority as well. And not to forget, remember, there is one seat which also went for bypolls in Meghalaya, the Gambagre seat, where Chief Minister Conrad Sangma's wife, Mehtab Chandi Sangma, made her electoral debut. And for the Sangma family, for their party NPP, it is a crucial election, given the fact that Gambagre again is a Congress bastion. There is a multi-corner fight there. You have Trinamool Congress's Sadia Rani Sangma, who is also a wife of a former minister. But remember, in the last Meghalaya election, Conrad Sangma's elder brother James Sangma had faced a defeat. In the Lok Sabha election, the Sangma family could not retain their traditional Tura seat, and Agatha Sangma, Conrad Sangma's sister and former minister, got defeated. And therefore, it is a big test for his wife, who is making an electoral debut.
Very interesting contest there in the northeast. Ratnadeep, stay with us. Let's also go across to Sam now. And he's, of course, tracking the Wayanad bypolls, which saw the electoral debut of Congress's Priyanka Gandhi. Now, while most expect that Priyanka Gandhi will win this one, the seat was vacated after her brother, Congress MP Rahul Gandhi, gave up the seat, opting for Rai Bareli. The voter turnout was notably lower than compared to what we saw in the Lok Sabha polls, with only around 64.72% voters participating. So, Sam, this is a seat, of course, which has been vacated by her brother. Wayanad is also known as a Congress bastion. So, is this going to be an easy win for Priyanka Gandhi?
That's the expectation. That's what the Congress also counts on. And Priyanka Gandhi aims to make a big win. In fact, trying to take the margin well above what Rahul Gandhi had won with. Last time he had won with around 3.6, but the Congress now hopes to go beyond 4 lakh votes. That's the expectation. Politically, it's significant because it's a political debut for Priyanka Gandhi. If she wins, the Congress would have a larger, a very high-profile face from the party in the south. Secondly, it will also be having a woman face, a stronger woman face from the party to represent in the parliament. That's the larger game plan. And Priyanka has been counting on the legacy of Rahul Gandhi and also building her own profile to emerge as a stronger woman leader in Wayanad. Whoever wins, technically it's an election, ultimately anything could happen. Whoever wins, it could mean politically a significant win for all these, be it the BJP or the left. It could be a big win for them. But having won the seat 2 times earlier, traditionally being a bastion for the Congress is supremely confident that Priyanka Gandhi will be able to really win with a huge margin and sending a clear, strong political message, both for South as well as on the floor of the House of the Parliament. Tanima.
Right. Thank you, Sam Daniel, for joining us. And we'll keep coming back to you for more details on that Wayanad bypoll. Moving on to West Bengal, the Bengal bypolls were held in 6 assembly seats. This is the first elections being held in the state post the RG car horror. In fact, the BJP aims to get advantage from the public outrage that we saw. Of course, the ruling TMC was cornered here, and a lot of questions were asked on the TMC's handling of this case. Of the 6 seats, Madari, Hart and Sitai, which is in Kuch Bihar, are in northern West Bengal, and the other 4 are in southwest Bengal. In 2021, 5 of these were backed by the TMC, while the BJP won 1 seat, which is Madari Hart. My colleague Saurabh Gupta joins us with more details on this. Saurabh, this is a very interesting election because in Lok Sabha elections 2024, it's the TMC that performed really well, reducing the BJP to 12 seats. But the BJP had done reasonably well in 2021 assembly polls, getting 77 seats. So these by-polls being held first time after the RG Car brutal rape and murder will also show what the momentum of the state is like and if the BJP actually has a chance there in near future. Tell us what is at stake here.
Well, lots is at stake because obviously for the Trinamool, it's a test of its grip over the state. Politically speaking, the Trinamool has had a very firm grip, especially when it comes to bypolls. They've practically been winning bypolls very strongly because bypolls are usually elections that go in the favor of the ruling party in power, and that's something that the Trinamool expects this time also to play out. The Trinamool says it's confident of winning 6 on 6, including the Madari Hart seat, which was won by the BJP this time. The BJP is hoping to reduce the Trinamool's tally, but even in Madari Hart, there seems to be, some sort of a doubt over whether they can pull off that seat. Technically, it was the seat, that was earlier represented by Manoj Tigga, who then went to Parliament, was elected to Parliament in the Lok Sabha elections, and therefore by-elections are taking place in the Madari Hart Assembly seat. He is now the Alipurduar MP. So this is something that the BJP also will have to reflect upon. If it's 6 on 6, like the Trinamool says, it's confident that the results will be. It is, of course, a big, worry for the BJP, and not just the BJP. Political parties like the left, the CPM has really tried to, sort of politically benefit from the RG Kaur issue. The BJP largely during the RG Kaur issue remained on the sidelines saying that, we support the agitation. The Trinamool is, of course, there's corruption, etc. But they were not part of the agitation. The left, though, was actually, sort of, in a sense, or at least one got the perception that was more involved in those protests. So they've given candidates to, and for them, it would be a bigger loss of face if the Trinamool manages 6 on 6. However, the opposition parties believe that they will be able to restrict the Trinamool in some way, given what's happened in the RG Kaur issue. The Trinamool is absolutely confident of 6 on 6. So that's where it stands. We'll now have to wait for the results to see whose sort of political grip on the state is firmer and whether it improves or, the Trinamool has lost some ground. That will be clear from the results.
Right. Moments to go for counting to begin. Saurabh, thank you so much for joining us. With that, stay with us. Let's also go across to another key state which is seen by-polls. That's Uttar Pradesh, where by-elections were held for 9 assembly constituencies. And this has emerged as a pivotal test a direct face-off between BJP and the Samajwadi Party, which had upstaged the BJP in the recent Lok Sabha elections. Now, there were, of course, allegations of police misconduct and irregularities which marked the polling process. Let me go across to my colleague Ranveer, who is joining us from Lucknow. Now, Ranveer, early in the morning as well, we have seen Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav sending out a word of caution in a way, telling the observers to watch out for any sort of an irregularity that they notice even at counting centers. So clearly that's been the tone and tenor in Uttar Pradesh, which we have seen continuing in a way from the day the elections were held.
Vasudha, we are waiting for the result, but just before the results, we can say that this result is not going to change anything in Uttar Pradesh. Yogi Adityanath is Chief Minister and he will continue as a Chief Minister, and Akhilesh Yadav is a leader of Samajwadi Party and he will remain so, because this seats is not going to change anything. But despite all these, this by-election is very important for both Samajwadi Party and BJP, because this is a fight of prestige. After the Lok Sabha elections, Samajwadi Party is expecting that if they'll win more than 4 or 5 seats, then this will be a message to people of UP that they are believing in Samajwadi Party, and this election is considered as semi-final of 2027. And this election is a matter of prestige for Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath too, because he initially started this campaign apart from BJP organization, and after that Yogi Adityanath, he met with the top leadership of state organization, and he campaigned in each and every seat. So that's why this is a clear fight between Akhilesh Yadav and Yogi Adityanath, and the result will be a message of 2027 UP Assembly elections. So this is a matter of prestige, and today is an important day because this by-election is considered as a semi-final of 2027.
Right. Thank you, Ranveer, for joining us with that very critical state. Of course, Tanima, the by-elections in UP are being seen as a semi-final before the 2027 polls. We also have Harsha joining us from Rajasthan. Rajasthan also had 7 seats where the by-polls were held. We will get her reactions on that, and she's standing in that very important constituency of Nagaur. We'll talk about all of that in a bit, but now it's time for a short break.
It's a web of frauds, calls, luring emails, threatening messages. Cyber frauds have cast their net wide and everyone is at risk. We track the victims, their horror stories as they get conned online, extorted and robbed of their hard-earned money. How to identify a cyber fraud and how to stay cyber safe. What are your options? Fraud.con. NDTV initiative for cyber safety. Only on NDTV 24/7.
हम ये चुनाव विकास के मुद्दे पर लड़ रहे हैं.
Let them come for an open debate with me. I've challenged Eknath Shinde multiple times.
Congress is in the worst situation in this state.
महायुति में भी इससे ज़्यादा dispute है.
Everything is fair in love and politics.
वोट देने वाले ही जिताने वाले हैं ना.
So we worked on 4 options.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news, From India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for...
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Counting day for the final electoral battle of this year. It's India bloc versus the NDA in battleground states of Maharashtra and Jharkhand. Results also in key bypolls. Counting of votes in a high-stakes battle for Maharashtra, battle for 288 seats. Will Mahayuti retain power or will MVA make a comeback? Tight contest in Jharkhand. Will Hemant Soren be able to tide anti-incumbency or will the NDA wrest power? Prestige battle for Priyanka Gandhi in Wayanad in Kerala. Priyanka Gandhi's electoral debut in the Congress bastion.
Welcome back. The voting, the counting of votes in both Maharashtra and Jharkhand will begin in a few minutes from now. We're also tracking very closely the bypolls that were held across the country. But remember, it's Maharashtra, which is where a lot of attention is because it's where the financial capital is. And this is a state that has seen a lot of political uncertainty, restlessness. It's a restive state. Last 5 elections, there hasn't been a single party that has been able to get that magic number of 145. So the final question is, will Maharashtra finally give a decisive mandate or not, and what are the political implications for the national parties and also for the regional parties? Shiv Sena and NCP is something that all of us are keenly waiting to understand. But let me go across to my colleague Harsha, who joins us from Rajasthan. The results of the 7 seats where bypolls were held in the state will be, of course, a referendum on the 1-year performance of Bhajan Lal BJP government in the state and also the BJP president there. Remember that the BJP also faced a setback in the state of Rajasthan in Lok Sabha elections of 2024. The Chief Minister himself has been monitoring these campaigns. Harsha, tell us about these important bypolls that are taking place because Kirori Lal Meena's, a very maverick politician who keeps writing letters. In fact, he resigned because he did not keep up the promise of ensuring that Dausa goes to BJP. His political prestige is at stake. And of course, someone like Hanuman Beniwal, who's also seen as a big leader in the Jat community. And of course, Bhajan Lal Sharma. So tell us what is at stake here for both parties and what is the importance of these 7 seats that will see outcomes today?
Well, absolutely. Like you said, Vasudha, the fact that Bhajan Lal's prestige is at stake, he's completed 1 year in government. So how are people here reacting to the Bhajan Lal government? Remember, it's an entirely new slew of leadership here in Rajasthan. So somewhere, these bypolls will also reflect the mood of people vis-a-vis the government. Very important 2 people that you named, Kirori Lal Meena and Hanuman Beniwal. Well, Kirori insisted that his brother get that ticket. He's also been alongside with him all along in that campaign. So somewhere, Kirori Lal's personal prestige at stake, and perhaps if this election is won by his brother, then Kirori will stop sulking and come back to cabinet. I mean, he does take meetings from his house, but he doesn't really officially seem to be part of the government. So there is a situation of, it's a no man's land. We really don't know whether he's a minister or not a minister, to get an interview with him or not get an interview with him on matters of governance. But having said that, remember, the Jat heartland is where the BJP faced a lot of losses in the Lok Sabha elections. In fact, there were seats that they lost here. So, Khimsar, Jhunjhunu, these were seats that the BJP lost. The RLP, the Congress won these seats. Now, I'm here in Khimsar, actually in Nagaur, where the counting is taking place. And Hanuman Beniwal, Jat strongman, he put his wife down to fight this election. So, but of course, in some senses, it's him versus Jyoti Mirdha. Jyoti has not been very lucky as far as the hustings are concerned. She lost the Vidhan Sabha election. She lost the MP elections as well. But Revat Ram was her candidate. He switched over from the RLP to the BJP. And so in some senses, it's a proxy war. But most importantly, Vasudha, it's a war, it's a fight for that crucial Jat vote. Remember, the Jat vote is very decisive in Rajasthan and they can make or break an election. So if in Jat heartland, Jhunjhunu and Nagaur, we see a shift towards the BJP, then I think somewhere the BJP leadership can heave a sigh of relief. And of course, the Chief Minister will be beaming from year to year if he gets a few seats from Rajasthan. Like I said, it will not change the majority that the party has in the Assembly, but it will definitely be an endorsement of Mr. Bhajan Lal Sharma's leadership.
Right, Harsha, there we'll of course be tracking all the updates coming in from Rajasthan with you. But let's also shift focus to another key state where bypolls were in fact held recently, which is Punjab, where there were by-elections held in 4 assembly seats: Gidarbaha, Dera Baba Nanak, Chabbewal and Barnala. Now, these elections were necessitated by the previous MLAs being elected to the Lok Sabha. It was a triangular contest mainly between the ruling Aam Aadmi Party, Congress and the BJP. The results will be crucial for the Bhagwant Mann government, whose performance was a little lackluster in the Lok Sabha elections. Let me go across to my colleague Gurpreet, who is joining us from Gidarbaha, I believe. Gurpreet, what's the mood like where you're standing?
Well, we are standing in front of Gidarbaha, and this is the counting center. The visual which we are showing at this point of time, we can see huge force has been deployed here because high stake battle in Gidarbaha. One side we have seen the Congress chief's wife Amrita Vardhan, she is contesting from this. From other side we have seen the former finance minister, he is contesting, Manpreet Badal, he is contesting from the BJP, and from Aam Aadmi Party, that the ruling government, we have seen the Akali Turncoat, Dimpy Dillon, he is contesting from here. There is a 3-corner contest which is happening. So from 8 onwards, the trends will be clear that who will be able to win Gidarbaha. So one of the supporters and one of the counting agent is with us. We will talk to him. So what is the mood of the people now? Today is the final day of the verdict.
देखिए, हम यहाँ पर खड़े हैं बाहर. मैं मनप्रीत सिंह बादल साहब की तरफ से अंदर बूथ पर पोलिंग एजेंट हूँ. हम पूरी कोशिश, हमने पूरा जो जी जान से मेहनत की है और कोशिश की है कि बीजेपी और मनप्रीत बादल साहब के वोट ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हो.
अगर बीजेपी की बात करें तो लोकसभा में कोई सीट नहीं आई, वोट शेयर जरूर हुआ, लेकिन क्या लगता है कि यहाँ पे कोई समीकरण बन सकते हैं क्योंकि मनप्रीत बादल यहाँ से कंटेस्ट करें और ये जो एरिया है बादल बेस्टियन भी है, बादल का स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड है, तो क्या लगता है कि अकाली दल, क्योंकि अकाली दल इस बार नहीं लड़ रहा, वो वोट बैंक सारा मनप्रीत बादल को जाएगा?
नहीं, मैं ये तो नहीं कह सकता कि पूरा अकाली दल वोट मनप्रीत बादल साहब को जाएगा. देखिए, हम भी पुराने अकाली दल से हैं. हमारा ताल्लुक बादल परिवार से 40-50 साल से है, लेकिन बहुत ज़्यादा वोट मनप्रीत बादल साहब को गया है.
आम आदमी पार्टी में अकाली दल का ही नेता गया, तो क्या लगता है कि आम आदमी पार्टी एक तरफ सरकार भी है, तो कहीं ना कहीं लोग ये भी सोचते हैं कि 2.5 साल पड़े हैं, सरकार के साथ चलना चाहिए?
आपकी बात बिल्कुल ठीक है, लोग ये सोचते हैं, लेकिन अगर हम बड़े प्रोस्पेक्टिव देखिए तो बीजेपी बेस्ट है पंजाब के लिए. यहाँ पर जो उन्होंने वादे किए हैं, जो यहाँ पर पक्के मकान गरीबों को देने का वादा किया है, और जो ब्रिज और अंडर ब्रिज गिदरबा के लिए दिया है, और पाइपलाइंस जो फार्मर्स के लिए देंगे, उससे मुझे लगता है कि बहुत ज़्यादा वोट.
पर फार्मर प्रोटेस्ट भी हुआ है, फार्मर प्रोटेस्ट एपी सेंटर है पंजाब और हरियाणा का, क्या उसका भी इम्पैक्ट होगा ही है यहाँ पे?
देखिए, इम्पैक्ट थोड़ा सा तो है, लेकिन बीजेपी में अगर हम जाएंगे तभी तो सोल्यूशन ला पाएंगे. तभी हम कोशिश करेंगे कि फार्मर्स का जो प्रोटेस्ट है, जो उनका गुस्सा है, वो सरकार के सामने रखे ताकि वो इसका सोल्यूशन निकाले.
Thank you for talking to NDTV. So we can see these visuals from the counting center, and counting is going to begin within a few minutes, but I'll request my vijay to show all these visuals from the ground, what is happening at this point of time. We can see huge force had been deployed because there in Gidarbaha, this is one of the hot seats where we have seen high stake battle is going between all the candidates, whether it's a Congress candidate, BJP candidate or Aam Aadmi Party candidate, but even for Akali Dal, this is a very crucial constituency because we have seen it was a stronghold of Badals, but this time Akali Dal is not contesting from here, but where the vote share will go, that will also decide the future of Shromani Akali Dal from this constituency. So let's see whether the BJP will be able to get maximum votes or the Congress will be able to get the majority from here, or the Aam Aadmi Party. Because if we can talk about Aam Aadmi Party, it's the mid-term litmus test for Aam Aadmi Party, for the ruling government. If they will be able to get mandate from all these bypolls, it seems the policy and the strategy which they are implemented on the ground, the people seems to be happy. But if they are not able to perform well, it will put a question mark over Aam Aadmi Party government. So let's see, let's wait for some more time, then things will be more clear from the Punjab bypolls and specifically from Gidrar bypoll, who will be able to win and how much difference will be for the votes between Aam Aadmi Party, Congress and the BJP. Back to studio.
Thank you, Gurpreet, for joining us with those details. Gidar is, of course, a high-prestige battle, Tonima, because that's where Amrita Waring, the wife of the state president of the Congress, Raja Waring, is contesting from. And she is pitted against former finance minister of Punjab, Manpreet Badal, who, of course, makes a political comeback. So clearly that is one result everyone is awaiting. But moving on to Maharashtra, which is where the crux of today's anticipation is. Maharashtra, of course, is where all eyes are on. Let me go across to my colleague Abira, who joins us from Dahisar. Abira, you're standing in a place, Borivali also recorded one of the highest voter turnout this time on the 20th of November. In fact, the whole of Maharashtra also recorded almost a 4% increase in voter turnout. Women, of course, came out in huge numbers. There's been a significant increase in women's voting percent. Tell us what is the mood like? Are people quite happy in Mumbai that, you know, they no longer will be blamed for their voter apathy or, for that matter, indifference towards politics?
Hopefully this is going to continue. It is a good news for Maharashtra that they have increased the voting rate to 4% from what it was previously. But you know, here in Dahisar, where I'm standing, around 2.76 lakh voters have voted from here, and there was a time when they had a tough time coming and choosing their candidate, because you know, both the candidate, the BJP candidate, which is the sitting MLA, and we have UBT candidate Vinod Golaskar, who had the exact same promises to make to the voters. So it was a very tough choice for them. So we have to wait and watch what happens today. Have they made the right choice or not?
Also going across to my colleague Anuj, who's reporting from Mahim. Anuj, Mahim is where Dadar is, and you know, this is where a lot of there's a lot of talk about sympathy, legacy, and of course it's a battle for power. This is where the Sena Bhavan is. Tell us, you know, what do these election results actually mean for Eknath Shinde and also Uddhav Thackeray? Because if you look at the ideological divergence that people have been talking about with respect to Uddhav Thackeray, there's also an equally vocal section that says that it was Eknath Shinde who was the betrayer here. But of course, there are also people who believe that Uddhav Thackeray actually, you know, betrayed the Hindutva ideology. So clearly that, you know, duplicity or that discrepancy is something that plays out quite often. How are the people of Mumbai, the Marathi voter of Mumbai, looking at something like this?
You know, one thing that we've realized in the last 2 years is that although after the split, a wave of sympathy was created for Uddhav Thackeray, but Eknath Shinde has proven himself to be worthy enough of holding the position of chief ministership. We saw that it was a surprise when he was being made as the chief minister, overtaking Devendra Fadnavis, who was in line and was most expected to be holding that position. Now, in the last 2 years, the overall dynamics have changed very interestingly, and the dichotomy that you mentioned is the one which is playing across all the state. All over the state. You know, Eknath Shinde is seen as one of the old-time Shiv Sena, Shiv Sena members. He holds on to that Kattar Hindutva ideology. He comes from Thane, and Shiv Sena. Thane is very important for Shiv Sena right from 1966, which is why we saw that the entire Konkan and the Mumbai region is a place where, you know, Eknath Shinde tried to have his stronghold on. Whereas when you talk about Uddhav Thackeray, it is of course the Thackeray brand that helps him, and the band of purists, according to him, which rally behind him time and time again. Now, in the Lok Sabha elections, we saw that except for a few places where Uddhav Thackeray, you know, probably failed in understanding the equation and named his candidates against the candidates whose support was much more. For example, Sangli, where he pushed for his own candidate against Vishwas Patil, we saw that Uddhav Thackeray was able to increase the tally of his MPs from 5, with which he was left with after the split, to 9, and that is a considerable amount of increase considering the fact that the name was taken away from the party. You know, the symbol people and also a lot of resources were taken away from Shiv Sena. Now what we are seeing here is going to be the litmus test, because Eknath Shinde has always believed that the core voters of Shiv Sena have always stayed with him. And one example that he gives is that of Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar in Marathwada, where he defeated Uddhav Thackeray. And it is not just that. Uddhav Thackeray went against Eknath Shinde on as many as 13 seats. And on those 13 seats, Eknath Shinde was able to win on 7 crucial seats. Now, a difference of 7:6 might not seem very high, but then one also has to understand that one pointer that Uddhav Thackeray's party, or, one way through which their party has been getting a lot of votes is from the minority, which does not go very well with Eknath Shinde. He claims it to be the vote share of NCP and Congress party, whereas the Marathi Manus ka vote, it is indeed with Eknath Shinde, and which is why this entire battle is going to be very interesting, especially when you talk about Mahim. This is the place where things have become even more spicier, considering that the Bharatiya Janata Party has gone on record to say that they will be giving their support to the MNS candidate, that is Amit Thackeray, for the unconditional support that was given by Raj Thackeray to Prime Minister Narendra Modi during the Lok Sabha elections. Now, Eknath Shinde has been very vocal about how his candidate, Sada Sarvankar, is going to be the face of Mahayuti. But then there, of course, is a lot of confusion over who exactly is the face of Mahayuti, where, MNS lead Raj Thackeray has very clearly stated that he will be supporting Devendra Fadnavis to become the chief minister and not necessarily Eknath Shinde. So it is a khichdi of sorts at the moment, but all eyes on Mumbai. On which side does the city take? Is it UBT or is it Shinde Sena?
Right, it's largely a Sena versus Sena battle playing out in Mumbai specifically, and my colleague Radhika is also joining us, but we'll go to her in a bit. First, let me go across to my colleague Aishwarya, who's standing by at the BJP headquarters in the national capital, and there seems to be some sort of an early celebration there already. Aishwarya, tell us more about that.
Well, unlike the Haryana election results where we saw at the Congress headquarters early in the morning jalebis being prepared, and later the entire scenario changed, after which Bharatiya Janata Party ordered 100 kgs of jalebis and distributed, and jalebis was one of the flashpoint in those elections. This morning what we are witnessing at the Bharatiya Janata headquarters, party headquarters, is jalebis being prepared over here. This morning, unlike what we usually see at the BJP headquarters, halwa is being prepared early in the morning, but this time it is, of course, jalebis being prepared. BJP seems very confident this time, of course, as far as the Jharkhand polls are concerned, but Maharashtra is something the BJP leaders specifically had stated after the exit polls predictions that they will wait and watch as to what will finally come out as a final picture. But here, of course, at the early morning for the breakfast, and there's a usual routine, of course, at the BJP headquarters, but jalebis is something that we are witnessing for the very first time being prepared over here, and they have been told that every preparation is to be made as far as the celebrations are concerned. Of course, as far as the every year routine is concerned, whenever Bharatiya Janata Party wins, the Prime Minister addresses Karyakartas after coming to the headquarters, and since morning those preparations already begins, and therefore the reason perhaps today jalebi is being prepared and rest of the breakfast. But of course the BJP leaders have already started arriving at the BJP headquarters for the early updates, as they still had stated that they will wait till 11 or 11:30 to get the final picture and to call for the elections. But unlike the Haryana election, some different scenes at the BJP headquarters over here.
So thank you, Aishwarya, for joining us with those visuals, because it's always heartening to see food on our screens. And jalebi, especially, Tanima, has become a political tool for the BJP.
And those jalebis seem to be fast vanishing, Aishwarya. I hope you got some of that as well before it actually, it seems to be fast depleting there. But we will be coming back to all our reporters who are there on ground and, of course, focusing on the battleground states specifically. But after this very short break, stay with us.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
And I swipe it there, bound rewards. Download any single ID partner app, link your card and earn reward with top brand.
Get it free with single ID.
This week on India Ascends.
Why is Africa crucial to India's strategic and geopolitical calculus? Will COP29 address climate catastrophes, or will the deadlock in negotiations hurt global climate goals? What does thaw in India-China ties mean for business and regional security? And big global voice on India Ascends this week, Ian Bremmer on Donald Trump 2.0.
All this and more only on India Ascends with me, Gauri Dwivedi, at these timings on the NDTV network.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए.
In the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं.
NDTV World, your new home for global news is here. Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app, news that matters to you. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform.
Welcome back. We are, of course, just moments away from the counting to begin for both the battleground states of Maharashtra and Jharkhand, and also, of course, over the 40 seats where by-elections were in fact held across multiple states in the country. But focus, of course, on Maharashtra, where we can already see some early morning activity taking place. Yes. Vasudha, we can see that there are, of course, several candidates who are making their visits to the temples and, of course, their last-minute prayers. Shaina NC, they're visiting the renowned Siddhivinayak temple in Mumbai. And let's listen into the reaction which is coming from her early this morning.
You know, I have never played divisive politics. I've tried to take everyone along in every sense. But having said that, there are certain parties that only appease vote banks and play pseudo-secular politics. I think we need to move beyond that. The time has come to only talk about development, and the younger generation understands that.
Shaina NC there, the Shiv Sena candidate from the high-profile constituency of Mumba Devi. She's contesting against a three-term MLA, Amin Patel. So clearly a very difficult battle there. She is a BJP spokesperson who actually chose to fight on a Shiv Sena ticket. And that is something that's been the norm this time. A lot of people who didn't get tickets actually shifted to the allies. So that's very convenient. Let me go across to my colleague Radhika for more understanding on what Maharashtra elections actually holds for both sides. Radhika, you covered the 2019 fallout of the election outcome very closely. BJP had the highest numbers, even into 2014, they had the highest numbers, 122 and then 105, but clearly not enough to form the government. What really happened during that time? And can you reference all of that with what is expected today? Is that why political parties are sitting on the edge, although they are sounding very confident, because 5 assembly elections, Maharashtra has not had a single party that got the magic number of 145?
Absolutely. All the drama that we're seeing now started in 2019. Post the elections, of course, BJP and Undivided Sena had clear mandate, but then because of Chief Ministerial post division and disagreements over it is when Uddhav Thackeray decided to break away from the party and then, of course, join hands with unlikely parties. Congress, NCP and MVA was formed. MVA government was formed. It broke away after Sena division and then, of course, NCP division. So this is what happened over a period of 5 years. Of course, it's extensive, it's dramatic, and that is what led to 6 parties now, 2 Senas, 2 NCPs. But I'll also just, take our viewers through where I am standing. I am at Worli constituency, and the scene here, of course, hundreds of police officials, CISF officials manning this particular place. This is, of course, an important constituency, Vasudha and Tanima. Milindyora battling it out with Aditya Thackeray. Aditya Thackeray, of course, the existing incumbent MLA from here, from Uddhav Sena. Milindyora, who in fact left Congress party early this year, joined hands with Eknath Shinde Sena and now fighting from Shinde Sena ticket. So it's a Sena versus Sena battle in Worli constituency. Yes, of course, highly secured, polling booth at this point. Of course, counting is yet to begin. Of course, 10 more minutes for counting to begin, and in a couple of hours probably things will become clear, but not entirely certain, because this is a very, very unpredictable battle. In fact, in 2019 all of us thought that it is an expected mandate. It is a predictable battle when BJP and Undivided Sena won. It was straightforward is what many thought. There were differences between BJP and Sena at the time. There was a lot of bickering when they were in power, but not too many expected Uddhav Sena to take that stand at the time and then join hands with Congress NCP. So it was a surprising turn of events that took place, which is why, although a lot of people are predicting hung assembly, some predicting a landslide victory for Mahayuti, some to MVA, remains to be seen what could happen. Even if there is a clear mandate, could that also change with switching of sides? Because that's what we saw into 2019. Right. Clear mandate was there, but despite that, a lot of drama and chaos took place. So we'll have to see, what kind of surprise awaits us as the results come out.
So it's not going to be just a comfortable victory. That's going to be important. Loyalties are going to be tested, and also loyalties that have changed. So it's going to be a pursuit of power, pursuit of loyalties, pursuit for legacy, so many things there, but also a battle for survival for all political parties there. Of course, different implications for the national parties, BJP and Congress. If the BJP manages a good show in the region of Vidarbha, especially against Congress party, it will actually prove a point that the 2024 Lok Sabha elections were just an aberration in the state of Maharashtra. And if it doesn't, if the Congress manages to do well, it will go on to say that what happened in Haryana was just a one-off, and it is the 2024 mood is still on in the country. So several things at stake here for both parties.
Right, and we are just moments away from the counting to begin, Vasudha, and we'll of course come back on the other side of this very short break with our reporters as well as our panel of experts to decode this very, very important counting day in those battleground states as well as the by-elections. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
Our $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
It's a web of frauds, calls, luring emails, threatening messages.